welcome back to my channel, and here we talk about creative businesses. And today I've got Julie with me from Space and Time.
That's it, g'day.
Thanks for coming, Julie.
Thank you.
So Julie's going to talk to us about how decluttering can help with your creativity and productivity.
Yeah, very important for anybody in this day and age.
Yeah.
We get so busy doing lots of different things.
Yes.
So to be able to clear your space and even to clear your mind,
Yeah.
you need decluttering your space and your time. Hence my business name is a big part of what I do and help people every day in their homes.
Great. So just give me a really quick elevator talk about what your business is all about.
Yeah, so it's just making life a bit simpler and more fun, particularly for working mums. And a lot of those working mums might own their own businesses. And so just to carve up their time between, do you want to spend it running around after the kids?
Yeah.
Or do you want to be productive in your business and plan out that time? But then also have the systems that are around the home that support what you're working on as well.
So do you help a lot of businesses declutter as well?
Yeah, businesses, mainly the person.
Yes.
And mainly homes, but a lot of people work from home.
That's right.
Yes, so home offices.
We do.
Yes, I do. I have my own office, which moves around depending on the weather.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a bit too cold in my office.
Yes,
too hot. Right. But yeah, a lot of us do work from home these days. So having that delineation as well between your work and your play is handy too, to be able to set up those zones. So it can certainly help people with that sort of thing as well.
So tell me, what's your biggest challenge in your business?
Biggest challenge, I love the hands-on work with my clients. Love to work with them, but of course then you got to come home and do the invoicing, keep up with the social media, and again I love that side of it as well, but I need to be very regimented with my time as well, and organised, so that you can fit it all in and be focusing on the things that you need to. So it's just all those different hats in your business. Always looking for new clients as well. Yes,
that's right. Oh, that was my next question. Yeah. How do you get a person to recognise that they need your help, or they need to declutter?
Yes. It often gets to a point where the mum often in the family's gone, I've just had enough, and have to put their hand up, and mums aren't very good at that. So they might reach out to me in an email or via my Facebook or Instagram and just be able to say, this is the sort of thing I'm having trouble with, can you help me? Yeah. And so that often is how it happens. But then it might be a new baby arrives or somebody passes away, those different milestones in our lives. Or people are getting older and need to downsize. So there's a lot of those sorts of different milestones as well that I help people through those transitions and those things.
I didn't think of that. Lots of changes in lives that you need to organise, isn't it?
Yeah, and then it's just being able to carefully and neatly sort of put that one chapter aside, and then creatively and beautifully and happily move to the next chapter. Yeah. You're not, try not to be too sorrowful, obviously depending on the circumstances. But if it's, downsizing, or it's a mum going back to work or something like that, let's celebrate. That's okay. You're not staying at home anymore with babies, but they'll be fine. Yeah. And let the mum get out there and do what she does best. Yeah.
I am naturally a neat person, and probably not today because the kids are on holidays. Yes. But I find that I get really stressed if my workplace is messy or it's disorganised. Yeah. Do people give you feedback about how more productive they are?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And people know the old quote about Albert Einstein and his messy desk, and how amazing he was. But I say, how good would he be if he had a tidy desk? So just to be thinking in that regard, but just to have some clear spaces, as I said before, delineated space. This is my workspace, if within reason, depending on your space in your home or wherever it might be. But just being able to find things, having a permanent home for things is just something I mention about 15 million times a day. I think make sure you got a permanent home for your stationery, keys, wallets, all those things that you might be wandering around the home looking for.
Forever losing my keys.
There you are.
Yeah.
I saw a nice hall stand in your home. You might need a little bowl
Yes.
that you can just pop them straight
Yes.
in when you get home.
Oh, look, I have plenty of hooks and bowls. It's more the habit
There you go.
of, coming home, turning off your car, opening the door, putting
Yeah,
the keys
that's
in the
exactly.
same place
It
every
is
time.
habits.
Mm.
Big thing on habits.
Mm.
Yeah. And I think managing your time is a huge part of keeping yourself organised.
Yes.
And that helps manage your stuff as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then future times too, because so many
Yes.
times I run around the house when I'm late, finding
right.
my keys,
That's it.
making me all late.
Yes.
Yeah. So walk me through a typical start of your project.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, is it a one-day job?
Depending on what I'm at the person's home to do. Some clients I worked with all last year, and once a week. So it might only be a few sessions. A few hours a week. So we start in, say it's the child's bedroom, and they've outgrown their toys. So we start sorting, getting all the Lego back into the one spot, getting all the Shopkins back in the one spot. Just getting that sort of just sorting out to see what you're going. That's always the first step. And often when you're doing that, when you're decluttering, you go, oh heck, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't need to say anything.
No.
I don't need to say, you've got too much Lego, I think you should get rid of it.
Right, and you don't.
They just figure it out for themselves.
Yeah.
And it's not until they get some things sorted out and in some sort of order that they can really process it and see what they've got.
Yeah.
And then from there we can go, yes, we're going to keep it, or no, we're going to donate it, or
And
pass
I guess
it on.
when you come into their lives, they've already made that mental leap that they need some help and they need to get rid of some things.
Definitely, yes, they do. And that's always easy, and much easier, should I say. It might be different if I just rocked up on somebody's doorstep
and they're not ready for it.
That's right.
Yeah,
they
right.
definitely need to be in the right state.
Absolutely, because people can get a little bit attached to things, don't they?
Very attached.
Yeah.
And I have a few different techniques on my website, in particular, different techniques for letting things go, like thanking the item for its service, which is a Marie Kondo thing that I've borrowed, but it really works well for things that you might have had for a long time, might use it one day, but you can just say, thank you so much, pink pair of high heels that gave me blisters when I wore it to the Kylie Minogue concert, and pass it on. So it just makes it a bit easier to, there's lots of different techniques. And putting boundaries around things, how long you want to hang on to something for, how much you want it, like is it just one tub of Lego, or the kids haven't used it for an amount of time, so different ways to help people make those decisions.
Oh, fantastic.
Always the first places where I start with people, apart from the sorting, is just trying to stop the stuff from coming in the front door in the first place. That's, whether it's paperwork and bills and all of those bits and, the paperwork that's coming in, newsletters, no junk mail sign on the front door, unless you really love your junk mail and make a time to sit down and look at it. But it's really to do with trying to
get junk mail anyway, though, even though you put a no junk mail sign.
A bit cheeky, isn't it?
Yes.
But trying to stop it from coming in the house, being very diligent when you're out shopping, taking a list and sticking at your list. Don't buy it if it's a bargain, if it doesn't fit. It's just going to...
Well, I reckon this is a totally new topic, I think, about consumerism, buying what we need and not what we want, considering all this climate change and,
we've just got too much.
Too much, that's in our lives, Well, thank you so much for coming to talk to us, and hopefully we'll have you again soon.
Great, thank you.
And for those who are new here, can you please subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when we post a new video, and I'll put all of Julie's details in the comment sections and across the screen. So space and time.
That's it. Thank you.
So thank you.